Oh, awesome.
We are live. Hi, everybody. We're going to let y'all come in here for a few minutes. Hello, hello.
And Kheri, everybody loves your hair. All my friends are like, "Oh my gosh, she's so much prettier in person. She's so pretty."
That was
Like,
very nice of them. TV does not do me justice, apparently. I get that told often.
yeah,
A guy came up to
I
me, he was
know.
like, "You were cute on TV, but when I saw you in person, you're very beautiful." I was like, okay, duly noted. I'm not a TV
Right.
face.
Like, how do you take that? Like, thank you.
Right.
Like,
I
Right.
know. You were just cute on TV, but in person, I was like, all right, well, screw you then. Thought I was good. I look good on camera. Except when they do the close up. Hey, you guys. Hi, Lola. Hi, China. Um, no, we're not sisters. Me and Symone are not related at all. Not all light skinned folks is related,
I
y'all. Dang.
know. That would be
Simone
so
is
fun.
Creole as well, though.
Hmm.
Rashid, are
Yes.
you Creole?
yeah, my mom's side for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I picked him. Just kidding. I actually found that out after the fact. I'm like, oh, good. Wait. When I said just kidding, he goes, no, she's not.
She's so not. She's so not. We know you like them light skinned brothers.
And Rashid was like, "Why do you like him like that?" He literally asked me that yesterday. I was like, "I think it's because I like guys that look like me."
You like guys that look like your brother.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what?
like very random.
My ex-husband was a light skinned brother. He looked like he could be related to me. It was every time we went out, people thought we were brother and sister. I'm like, no, literally having sex with this man, not my brother.
Whereas our friend Courtney, she likes men who look the opposite of her, and
Total
she is
opposite of her.
adamant.
Adamant.
Mhm. She likes some
Sorry.
tall and chocolate child.
There is no room
There's
for
none.
it. I wish Corey could have got it together. That would have been funny. He had the height and everything.
Girl, you know Courtney. She'll grow out of that though. She's gonna get sick of that. She'll be like, you know what?
Yeah,
Exactly.
the
Courtney,
early 30s.
The clock,
Oh.
yeah, the
yes,
clock will catch up with her ass. She'll
yeah,
change her standards.
she'll change her tune. I know I've opened my mindset on the men that I'm attracted to now. I'm like, he got one tooth missing, but we can take him to the dentist and get that fixed.
Right,
We
right,
I
got
know
right.
a very good dentist in Cedar Hill, Dr. Candace Brown, y'all.
okay. Okay, you guys are coming in. Thank you guys for coming. Oh no, get your darker, the kids will look better. Oh well, damn. Did you see this?
But now I just have to get a tan. That's the best I can do. Yeah, because your dad was brown.
Okay. Good mama.
Okay. My dad's brown too. My dad looks like a little Cuban man. Not little, he's tall, but
my dad has green eyes and curly hair, child. Just light skinned black man. My mama Creole.
yeah, I have my same. Mine has Hazel. He actually sent me a picture of my great grandpa and I posted it today and I was like, oh, y'all, my great
No,
granddaddy is so cute, y'all. I'm sure he's up in heaven or hell knocking off your grannies.
not him, Simone.
Either one. His name is Fernandez Red Wine. If y'all meet with Mr. Fernandez Red Wine, hide your grannies.
Hide your granny, hide your aunties.
He got this little smirk to him too. I'm gonna post it on my story. He's like,
Oh my God. Okay.
take your
Well, let's
trash out.
get started, guys.
All
All
right.
right. So, as y'all know, we're going to be talking about friends when friends become lovers. And we do know Rashid and Simone's beautiful love story. They're both from Ready to Love season 3. That is actually where they met, but that is not how they started their relationship. They actually started their relationship after the season. So
Yeah.
let's get into the tea. First of all, I have a question for both of you guys. Now that you guys are a couple, let's do a little bit of an icebreaker. So who who cooks the most?
Me.
She does,
You cook the
definitely. She
most.
cooked tonight. 2 nights in a
Oh,
row, mind you. So
oh,
like
okay.
I'm
What did
like,
you
yeah,
cook?
she working, she doing good.
You
She trying to throw some
domesticated?
hints in there.
I'm trying to what?
Trying to throw some hints in there.
Mm-hmm.
Two
Listen,
nights
she's
in a
like,
row.
I'm ready.
I was
Yeah,
hungry. I was hungry both
You were
nights.
oh, is that why?
that's why you cook. See, you're gonna deflect from the fact that you was cooking
I'm
for the
telling you,
household,
Joe,
talking
you're
about how I
supposed
was
to
hungry.
giggle. We know I cook. I do that in the household. I cook. The only time he cooks is like if I'm not home or there's some type of an emergency. Yeah, pretty much this.
Do you guys believe in like the traditional roles, both of you?
Yes, because I don't want to pay any bills and I don't want to take out the trash can.
Okay, so you want him to be the provider and the protector, the provider, and you're gonna be at the house cooking and cleaning, popping out the churn.
And he likes it. He'll be like, "Girl, come over here. Tell me which purse you want." And I'm like, on vacation. I'm like, okay. But
I
then,
love it.
yeah, but then I get irritated because like he'll come home and there will be no dinner cooked, but I work from home a lot of times, and he'll be like, "So there's just no dinner today? Like, I'm supposed to starve?" And I'm like, "You're a whole grown man."
No, that's not the point. So the point is like, that's fine. I get it. We get tired. No problem. So what I'm saying is, if I'm out, I'm out and about. Hey, shoot me a text. Like, hey, babe, let's eat tonight. Every man for themselves. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me stop. Do you want something? I'll bring something home.
Oh, well, that's the reason. Oh, okay, I can get with that. I like that.
Do you like that? Ding, ding, ding. So what did you cook tonight, Symone?
So I'm very liberal with that. I'm not a caveman by any means. Like, and we talked about that. She likes that role, so it's not like that I placed her in that role. Like, this is what I need from you, or it won't work. It was like, this is what I like. This is what from her. This is what I like. This is what I see. I'm like, okay, cool. I can rock with that as well. So
and I don't like paying bills. I'm gonna say that again. So I have to do something.
You know what? I need to be as blunt as you when I'm starting a date. Look, I don't want to play no bills. So what do you feel about that?
And she's basically almost that blunt, not quite that blunt, but close to it.
I love it. I love it. Well, then you guys work, so it's good that you both are cool with that, because some people are like, well, I want a woman to pay equally of the bills, work, juggle my PP,
right,
have the kids,
right,
stroke my ego, but don't expect too much from me. So it's good that you guys kind of have that expectation. Y'all laid it out. Okay, so who is the cleanest? You're the cleanest.
Barely. Technically, no.
No.
Technically,
if you win by 1 point, that's a win. There ain't no such thing as barely. I am.
Now you can say I'm the cleaner. No, I'm about to say I'm the cleaner because I just thought it through. I'm the cleanest because I have a maid. Ow! Shout out to Shelby.
That's cheating, Symone. No.
Exactly.
So
now since now let's go back into the roles that we have set, right?
Okay.
So she's talking about she don't want to pay any bills, and she will tell you that's why I'm a cleaner out of the two of us, not a third party. She's like, listen, that's not my gift, and I give her credit for acknowledging that. She said, but what I will do to contribute, I will pay for a housekeeper and a maid.
Yeah.
So that is her contribution to the cleanliness of the house. But if it was left just the two of us, I would be.
You would be the one. If there was no maid, it would be you who would be.
Correct.
Thank God for maids. Thank God for maids. The cleaning service. We are thankful for you, for women like Symone. My best friend is like that though. She's like, I'm not cleaning. I'm not. I was like, well, listen, you better tell your husband before you get married. Let him know that needs to be in the budget. We need a cleaner.
I was up front, and even when I do clean, like there are still concerns. So I just do what I can.
Yeah. So
and pay for the rest.
Right.
That is too fun. So who is the most fashionable out of the two?
Him. He dresses me.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, he dresses you? Okay. When I saw you guys when we went out, Rashid could clean up. He could clean up. I like the fit. I did. I like the fit. But Symone be looking good too. Symone be looking good too. I think you guys are equal.
Literally, when we go out before we go somewhere, he'll go like, "What are you gonna wear?" And I'll be like, "Well, this." He'll be like, "No," or whatever it is.
So yeah, the outfit that you liked, I picked it. I'm sure.
Oh, you picked some joints.
He definitely has a list, or things will just not be in the closet anymore. Like they will be like in a back closet. Things that he thinks are ugly, they get hidden. They'll be in a suitcase. Like in the back of the closet upstairs in the attic. Yeah.
But the fact that she trusts me, and I just kind of have that fashion background. My mom was a fashion model when I was growing up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah.
She's 6'1".
Yeah, my mom's tall, so she was.
And beautiful.
I was kind of always around it, and then so my
Mm-hmm.
grandfather was really into it, my dad, so it was just kind of natural for me. So I
Oh,
still, it's
nice.
crazy. I still get calls from like friends of mine, teammates, and from college or former roommates, and ask me like, "Hey, I'm going to this such and such event. I need you to
Mm-hmm.
visualize an outfit for me and tell me what I need to
Oh,
go get," and they go buy them. So
okay. Well, that's a talent you have. Well, that's
yeah,
that's a very good talent. And that's nice to have that for a male's perspective to tell you what to put on because that's
okay.
that. I'm gonna FaceTime y'all before I go out, and y'all tell me what to wear. I'm gonna be like,
Okay.
somebody on the phone and tell
Perfect.
them, let me know if this is a cute outfit. I'm trying to snatch some men when I go out. For
Somebody
real.
said there's no way kids are involved. He actually does have a
What
son.
does that mean?
We
Mm-hmm.
have him every week.
Yeah. How old is your son, Rashid?
He's 8.
Mm-hmm.
8 years old. Wow. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. Does he like your cooking, Symone?
Yes.
Yeah.
He said that I make better. Was it green beans?
What was it?
Yeah, green beans.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, vegetables.
Ooh,
And so
amazing.
Thursdays too. I cook pretty much every Thursday. Hmm.
Oh well, good, good. Well, that is a blessing. So we got a cleaning lady. We know how to cook. Rashid is the fashion stylist, and he's cleaner. So okay, I'm seeing how this is working. This works well. All right, so
Yes.
let's get into the nitty gritty. So when you guys were on Ready to Love, Rashid, what was your thoughts when you first saw Symone? And Symone, what was your thoughts when you first saw Rashid?
You want to go ladies first?
Yes. I was like, oh, he looked like. I thought he looked like a professor, like one of those little nasty professors at like an HBCU who like tries to sleep with all the pretty students. Because he had on this like tweed blazer, right? And then he had on these little plastic rounded rim glasses. So he looked like he probably like taught like I don't know anthropology or like English literature, something
Yeah.
like that. So I was like, okay, he looks like a nasty professor. I'm
A
down.
nasty professor. Okay, so a freaky professor. Okay, so you were already kind
Right.
of fantasizing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Got it.
I like the intellect.
Right. Right.
What about you, Rashid?
I mean, obviously, what does everybody think when you first meet Simone? Like, big personality, like, whoa. Like, and we just started talking, and she was just kind of telling me she doesn't have a problem telling you what she likes. And I think when I first approached her, I was like, "How you doing? What's going on? How are you?" She said, "I'm sitting here waiting for you." Southern little drawl, Whitney Gilbert type accent.
Whitney Gilbert, yes.
Yeah, and then she told me we were talking, and then she told me, which they did never air it. I don't know why. They showed it in the outtakes, in the excerpts, and we have the clips. We posted the clips individually way back then. But she had told me that she liked divorced men with children, and I asked her why. Well, she said she preferred or she only dates men where the baby mother is
If they have kids.
yeah, if they have kids, if the baby mother is dead or divorced. I was like, what? And then she told me her right, and then she told me her rationale, and I was like, oh, this girl's crazy. So that was I was simply that. That was my
Why
first.
did you think I was crazy?
Is it my turn? Can I tell my
It
story?
is. I'm asking. Why
Let,
you
let me.
thought I was crazy?
I'm talking to Kheri. Thank you. Oop, your mic is off. So that was my other initial impression. I was like, whoa, she's crazy, but crazy like not like uh, padded room crazy, but just like crazy, like a lot of fun and wild and just like very vibrant and energetic type of crazy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
very blunt.
And you would probably say the same, right? Exactly.
Yes.
It was logical.
It was logical. I believe it because when I was out there visiting, Symone said when I got dressed, she said, "You look like a second wife." I said, "Symone, what type of damn description is that?"
Right. Yep. That's
I'm
her.
like a sexy second wife. I always knew I would make an excellent second wife. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna be right on time, y'all. Watch. Mm-hmm.
You know what? That logic of thinking, honestly, is not bad because I would rather have someone who kind of been through the first love, get your heart broken, healed, so you'll appreciate me from the raggedy relationship we had previous, you know?
Right.
So I'm sure, you know, when I get my second husband, I'm definitely going to be like, where have you been? I've
And I think
missed you.
too, they have a more realistic expectation.
Correct. You're not as naive about things, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't expect perfection. Isn't it interesting when you have that first love or first marriage or relationship, you expect perfection a little bit because you don't know what to compare it to.
Right.
So you just compare it to feeling. So it's like, oh, I want to feel like this all the time, and I want you to make me feel like this all the time. But then when you don't, it's like, it's just it becomes, the blinders come off and things become a little bit more real when you go through that first relationship.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Simone, have you ever been engaged?
Nope. I never said yes.
Never said. Oh, you've been proposed to, but you never said yes. Good for you.
I tell people, please don't propose to me. I have multiple people. I was like, please don't propose to me.
Don't do it. You will definitely get no.
Yeah, because they were like doing things, and it was like rolling up to that time, the 2-year mark, the this, the that, and I was like, please don't do that.
Damn.
Well, I mean, when you know, right? Yeah, I know you ain't saying that to Rashid, though. I know you're not saying that to Rashid. My sister says hello, you guys. My sister's in the audience. Hey, sis.
Hey, sis.
How do I hide it? Okay, so we went. Okay, so Rashid, you guys went through Ready to Love together. You guys met, and then you ended up choosing, what's her name? Andrea. Is that her name?
Not necessarily, but go ahead.
Okay, so explain what happened with that. Why not Symone? What happened towards the end of Ready to Love?
So a lot of times people conveniently forget, if they watch the show, that yes, Adriana was my top in about midway through the show, and everybody also remembers the most memorable date, I think, of Ready to Love, especially when we were there, maybe of all time, but especially our season, when we had our date on the back of the truck, right?
I remember that, yes.
And that was 100% genuine. That was all real, no fluff, no BS. So that was the time where she was very vulnerable. She let down the guard. She let down the crazy talk. Kind of what my first perception of her, and that was a perception of most of the guys. But she softened for me, so I could tell she liked me. And then I returned that energy as well. So that was a real genuine date. Okay. At that point, if you go back in the next deliberation, she had won out favor with all the rest of the guys except for me. And then I told Tommy that Symone is skyrocketing to the top. She's now neck and neck. I would love to have her here for a few more weeks or days. But as you know, it's an elimination show. I got outvoted. So at that point, I think it was like 8 guys left, maybe 7. Yeah. And it was 1 to 6, basically. Oh, God. So at that point, that's how she got let go. I wanted her to stay because I saw the chemistry, I saw the sparks. What everybody saw, what everybody commented, what happened in real life between the two of us. So I was like, oh damn, she's dope in real life. Like, I like her. So now let's keep her around. But I got outvoted. So that's kind of when I said not so much, that I was ready to bring Symone into the fold and keep her around. So that's why I said not so much, not that I ultimately chose Adriana.
And to Adriana's credit,
you didn't really have a choice because she wasn't there anymore. She got voted off. Okay. So you just chose.
And to Adriana's credit, at one point, Adriana also told him, like, she saw the chemistry and she was like, you should explore Symone too, or something along those lines. Yeah. So anyway,
everybody saw the chemistry on TV. For sure. We did. I thought you guys were really cute.
And at that point, I was exhausted, so I took my fate and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take my talents back to Houston. I know how to get a number. I'll see you later. Or I knew, we would exchange information, and I will see him later. So I wasn't worried about it.
You weren't worried.
Game.
Listen, it's all about timing, right? All about timing. Yeah. So
and they don't leave me. They always come back, so I wasn't worried.
That doesn't apply to me.
Oh,
we went together for me to leave and come back. I don't.
Well, I'm just saying, I had no, I was not of concern because I'd never had a man leave me. That's all I'm saying.
But I didn't leave you to come back.
Okay, okay. Can I make a point? This is also girl talk.
Oh, well, go ahead.
I'm encouraging to the ladies, to the women.
Yeah. When they go, they always seem to come back. That's how awesome
Right.
she is. So she wasn't surprised that y'all were going to reconnect. She knew y'all were going to connect.
Right. I knew where to find you.
So, okay. So fast forward from Ready to Love, you guys linked up. When did y'all decide, hey, we're friends enough, we're cool enough where we want to do a podcast together, we want to do a show together? How did this happen?
She made that decision. She forced me to do that.
I didn't force you.
Is that your
I
way
didn't force you nothing. Okay, so I was supposed to be on the second Houston season, and then when ultimately I decided not to do it, and it didn't work out logistically, I was like, oh, but I still want to watch the process and be a part of it. So I was like, hey, he already had a podcast YouTube channel that he started, the Ages and Stages, right? Okay. So I was like, hey, we should review it on your channel. And I watched 90 Day Fiance, and they have reviews that they call Pillow Talk. So I was explaining to him we should do a review similar to Pillow Talk as former cast members and do it that way. And he was like, all right, that sounds like a good idea. Now, at that time, we had just started dating, like maybe a month and a half in or so, like 6
So when did y'all start dating? Like after the show ended, how much time passed before y'all started dating?
Well, it wasn't until really after the reunion, right? When was the reunion? January?
So you were gassing me up. You were acting like you were going to take me on a date, like immediately after the show. And then he was making excuses because, he was, at this point he's a celebrity. He was entertaining a number of ladies. And he had not yet, penciled me in. So
and where were you?
I had a boyfriend. Yeah. And so I had a boyfriend.
What are you talking about?
I'm telling her the truth now.
Okay. Wait a minute.
You had a boyfriend. No, I was getting to it. You cannot interrupt me. This is rude. They taught us this on Sesame Street. So I had a boyfriend that I knew it was about touch or go, right? Because he wasn't quite right. He wasn't taking his medicine like he's supposed to in a variety of things. So I said, this ain't gonna last too many more pay periods. So, but I didn't want to block my blessings or nothing. So, as he was kind of like, he was like, oh, I have to wait for COVID because I can't get my mom sick. And then, he had the skin issue, so he didn't want to go out in public. And then at some point he had a girl, and then I had a boyfriend, and da-da-da. So finally we had our first date about 3 months after we came back from the show, is the answer.
So, okay.
And that's
so
when both of us were single.
Yeah.
Okay. So previous of y'all both being single, y'all just stayed as friends because you both were in relationships. Was that difficult? Like, how did that look?
What do you mean? The part staying in touch?
Yeah, you just
we were just cool. We were just like, it wasn't like often. It was just like, hey, a lot of times, like our cast really kind of after the season ended, we all kind of hung out together. So we all had a Taco Tuesday at Chef Shay's house.
When you touched my butt.
And I would see her there, and then we talked, and then we flirted there, and then boom. Then we would text about new stuff that we heard about the show, or about just little stuff like that. Like, hey, did you hear this about the reunion, or this, that, and the third about the next season?
We would talk weekly. Yeah.
So y'all would talk weekly, and y'all kept it friend zone, and then you both finally became single, and then that's when y'all realized, okay, now we can start dating.
That's when basically we both had nothing better to do. And so we were like, let's go give it a try. Right, baby?
Sure.
Wait a minute. So did he call you? It was like, hey, I'm single now. Like, how did this transition?
I remember it was on like a Saturday or Sunday. He's like a traditional dater in that he plans his date. So he was like, can I take you out on Tuesday? And it was like Saturday or Sunday. And I was like, well, this is refreshing. Most guys will call you like the day before or so. And then I was like, sure. What would you like to do? He was like, well, I'm going to think of some things. And he was like, what are you, in the mood for or whatever? And then the night before, he called me and he was like, would you like me to pick you up from your house or meet you there? And I was like, pick me up from the house. Oh, that was the other thing that he would do. Like, we'd go to cast stuff. And he'd always be like, do you want to ride home? And he'd give me a ride home. And he wouldn't even try to do it to me.
Time with you.
Yeah. And that was always refreshing. Like taking me home, not trying to do it to me, like not trying to come inside. Don't be a weirdo. Just take me home. You know,
Right.
because that's rare. First of all, most
Mm-hmm.
guys would be like, I'll just call you an Uber because he doesn't live near me. He's the opposite, but he would take me home after cast stuff a lot. Fast forward, he asked me on a formal date. We went on a date that night, and it was just very natural. And
Yeah.
then, and then I realized he really liked me because one day he called me, and it was like during business hours. It was like 3:30 or something, and I was like,
Oh.
"Hi," and I was like, "Hello." He was like, "Hey, what's going?" I could tell he was in his car, and I was like, "Is everything okay?" Because I'm thinking, I'm like waiting for your legal question, your business question, like something. And I was like, "Is everything okay?" He was like, "Yeah, I just hadn't talked to you all day." And I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, you like me, oh."
So for people in the audience, like, of course, the point of this discussion is because you guys have successfully were friends, now you're lovers, and it seems to be elevating. And there are people who are in your current situation where I always hear, and I feel like when you've grown and you have a friend that you're attracted to and you're both single and you guys have a connection, why not try to see where it goes? So what are y'all's thoughts when people are like, oh, well, I don't want to mess up the friendship? Do you think that's the other person's excuse because they don't necessarily want to be linked up to that person? Or like, how do you guys feel about that?
So I don't think can be, but from the beginning, I had told him, like, actually, right after the show, when we came back from the show, I said, "Look, I don't know what you got going on. I don't know how many little girls you're dating, but you better let them know right now. I'm gonna be your friend. I'm gonna be in your life. So she just gonna have to get used to it because that's that on that." And so I had decided we were gonna be friends regardless. And so as it proceeded, my thing was I just knew that as long as we handled it with respect and transparency, then we would be able to salvage a friendship, even if the relationship didn't go. Because I knew I needed his friendship for business reasons.
Right.
He's just a really good business mind. I can throw ideas off of him, and he thinks in ways that I don't. It was just very helpful. So I was like, "You're gonna be my friend." But I think one of the main things to think about is no matter if you keep levels of respect, so you have to keep cheating out of that. So if you feel like you're at a place in your life where you're gonna cheat, don't even start. You can't do the friends with benefits. You either in and out or out. Don't be over here double dutching. That friends with benefits stuff, that's that foolishness.
And that's what gets you in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. That definitely will get your relationship in trouble. Go ahead, Rashid.
For me, I do get that sometimes when people say they don't want to cross the lines from friendship, but that to me is more a deeper longevity of friendship. That means you've been friends for years and years and years and never have crossed that line. Like we weren't friends like that. It was a budding friendship where there was already some attraction anyway from the show. So it was a little different. But I think you also have to, if you are, like she said, transparent and talk about things, if this is someone that you can mesh well with through the conversation that y'all have like interests and kind of pulling in the same direction. So why not? You have to take those chances because life is short, and then you could, like she said earlier, block your blessings on something where you're just in your head. Sometimes people don't want to get hurt because if they do it, but the other person might not feel the same way. So sometimes I say you got to live with the results. But to her point and to her benefit, like to her, it's just like she was like, "Listen, I don't do the friends and benefits thing." That's what she said, and I respect it. Like I don't if I'm intimate with someone, like they're my boyfriend. Like I don't do an in between. If we're dating, we're flirting, and we're friends, and we're dating, or or you're my boyfriend. So that's another way. Like I said, if you don't cross the lines of friends with benefits, and there's no sort of attachment or some sort of commitment there, whatever that may be between those two parties, I think that's how you avoid the real trouble from breaking up friendships.
I also think sometimes when people say that, "Oh, I don't want to ruin a good friendship," really what they mean is that one person finds the other person kind of ugly. Like one person is not that attracted to the other person.
Correct.
And they're like, "I'm not that attracted to you. I'm worried that if you try a relationship, I still won't be attracted to you. And I can't go back to being friends." Because it was this one ugly boy that liked me. And he was really, really smart, successful, all the things, but I didn't like his nose. And I didn't think it would be Christian to be like, oh, I will fall in love with you maybe if you get a nose job. But I did. And he was open to it. So anyway, we dated.
Oh, he was open to getting a nose job. Really, Symone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't like. Apparently, he didn't like it either. So we tried that relationship, and and it didn't work, and we were able to go back to friends. But I was transparent about what the initial reason that I never wanted to go there with it in the first place. Because I do feel like for a lot of people, it's some type of initial reason why you kept it in the friend zone for so long. Yeah. Other than just friendship. Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Yeah, I don't think I've ever. I'm trying to think. Usually if I'm attracted to my friend and we're friends, and if it's not years of friendships, I would I would date them, but if it's like a friend who I've been friends with for years, because I remember throughout college and high school, like my friends who I grew up with, and they're like, oh, Kheri done glowed up. She got booty now and titties, and they trying to I'm like, ew, but you're like my brother. Like we grew up together since we were like kindergarten years, So those friends I would not go there with because it just feel like you're sleeping with a family member. And it's just odd.
Yeah. And I definitely went through a phase. I went through a phase where because in my mind, I always felt like my husband was going to be possibly someone that I initially overlooked. Or someone, particularly someone who I may have friend zoned. I don't know why. I've always felt that way. So I went through a stage when I kind of evaluated everybody who I was actually attracted to that, later got in life. And it brought me to him because none of them were it.
There you go. So, you have an audience member. They are asking, what are y'all signs?
Capricorn / Sagittarius.
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, you're a Scorpio. Okay.
Capricorn.
Oh, do they get along? I thought you were a Scorpio.
Me? No, I'm a Sagittarius.
They said ugly is relative. That's crazy.
Listen, what?
They said ugly is relative. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. If he saw his nose. But yeah.
Someone's asking, how does Rashid handle Symone filter, I guess? For example, she talked about crazy things that she's done with her exes. Was that ever a red flag for him? Was that ever a red flag for you, Rashid? Obviously not.
No, but crazy things with her exes. It hasn't been anything that was. It has to be the person. It hasn't been anything offensive to me. That's prior to me. So we talk about my exes. I just don't say them on digital platforms. But
almost everybody knows.
Yeah. No, it never bothered me.
I only bring that kind of stuff up that's like directly related. But like earlier today, like I got in trouble because I did something very unfiltered. And basically, as long as he really only
you.
Hold on, I'm gonna say. Can I say it?
Okay.
He really only gets upset if it's going to if he feels like it's going to negatively impact me, like impact my business or an opportunity or our household. Other than that, he doesn't care.
You don't care other than that. That is too funny. Okay, so back to you guys. So you are now doing your podcast. Y'all are in a relationship. How did your families react to y'all being together? Because I know they saw what happened on TV. They're not part of the editing and what happens in the background. So when they found out you guys were getting serious or dating, how did your families react?
When I got serious about her, there was it's kind of a perfect storm because I have family in Dallas. She's from Dallas, right? She had met my mom prior, but nothing like real formal. But it was a big gathering of my family in Dallas for one of my cousin's birthday, and her parents lived there, so it was kind of one of those things where we could come. I could bring her with me. She can go back home. I can meet her parents, and then she can meet my family. And she just dove right in. Again, this is my mother's side, so all my mother's side family, all from Louisiana. She just dove right in there, looking like cousins, and jumped right in there. She was like part of the family, and everybody loved her, and she just fell right in. And she's really a sweet sweet girl, and she's very caring and kind, and she met everybody, damn near learned everybody's by name, and so that was cool. So that's kind of how that happened. They all love her and happy for me and for us.
Yeah. And my family was like, they were like, well, he seemed like the sanest one of them all. So they were happy about that. And then like my family was like, I get a new boyfriend like every 90 days. So they were like, well, don't get us excited because he seems really normal. Like we'll check back in 4 months because nobody makes it. So
that's what my family says about me.
What?
I says what my family says about me. They don't take anybody seriously unless they've been like past 3 or 4 months. Because I'll be like, oh my gosh, I really like this person. I want y'all to meet them. And they're like, we don't want to meet them, Kheri. We don't want to meet them.
Yeah, my sister, I don't want to meet anybody else. Right. And now she's like, he's like the big brother I always wanted. And she said that to him, and he's like, you have a big brother. She's like, yeah, I know, but
that is a good connection. So Ready to Love brought y'all together. I mean, initially we didn't see it on screen, but if it wasn't for the show, there would be no Symone and Rashid. So seriously. So tell me about once you guys, I know you guys are like at the point of where you're living together. How has that been for y'all?
I mean, it's been adjustment, like anything. When you're used to having your own space, she's used to having her own space, used to doing things a certain way. And now when you move in, you have to think about the other person's needs, wants. That's even with the air conditioning, with the heat, like stuff like that.
I was so hot today.
You know what I'm saying? So that kind of stuff, you have to take into account. And then so I think it's always a filling out process when people are trying to figure out their roles and their positions and trying to get used to certain things. And then you have to give on certain things. So I think the first month or so was a little challenging, just getting in a routine and used to things. But it's going well. It's going a lot better now, for sure.
Yeah, I was doing my makeup today. I was like, man, I really can't envision not living with him because, like, well, one, I'm lazy, and we live 24 minutes apart. And like I'd have to kind of beg him to come over to my house. But I would be at his house a lot. So of course now it's just like a lot easier. Plus he doesn't like me away too many days. I don't like him away too many days. Because if it was like 2 nights apart, we're like, all right, you coming over? You coming over? So now I'm like, yeah, I can't imagine not staying together. And his house is big enough. He has enough rooms where we can have our own space. Which is
right. Like if you get on each other's nerves, you can go into your separate. I think that's important.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not moving in with someone who's in an apartment. Like we're not doing this. I'm going to move out in like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, no.
Seriously. So how did that conversation even go to where you both decided that's the step y'all wanted to take? Because that's a big step.
Yeah. We were sitting on the couch one night, and it was funny. So I had been thinking about it and the right opportunities or the time to talk about it. So we got into a little tiff. I don't remember what it was about. And then we were just sitting there on the couch. And then, you know how you've ever seen those movies and stuff, like when people are talking or there's something, and then somebody just kisses them right away, just like to catch them off guard and to shut them out. So it was kind of something like that. We're sitting there, and I'm like, hey, you want to move in with me?
Because I was trying to leave. I was supposed to be staying with him for the week. Oh, a tornado or something was coming. So so he actually went and picked me up. He was like, babe, get your stuff together. I'm coming to get you at 4:00. Get all of your stuff. You need to stay with me because it's about to be a tornado. So get my stuff and I come over. And I don't know, we got in a tip or something. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And I pack all my stuff up and I'm preparing myself to leave. And I had a lot of stuff to pack.
And he's taking extra long to pack up your stuff.
He starts laughing. He was like, you don't want to go nowhere.
She was so not serious. Like
I was serious.
Was she folding her t-shirt slowly?
No, I was serious. Whatever it was, I was sick of that. And I was like, this is ridiculous. You're not appreciating me. And I was ready to go. And then he started laughing in my face. And then he was like, you don't want to leave. You want to move in with me.
Aww.
I was like, you're not serious. He was like, yes, I am. I was like, are you just saying this because I'm very mad and I'm about to leave? He's like, you're not.
Right.
He's like, I was gonna ask you anyways, but why not ask you now?
Yeah.
That's a perfect way to ask Symone, because you know, if you would have to try to do it seriously, it would just go totally left. You got to catch her off guard, just like you did.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So
Okay.
how long were you processing this, Rashid? Because I know for women, like for men, it takes a little bit longer. You have to process that thought. What steps did you go through to be like, okay, it's a yes for me?
Yeah, well, a number of things. One, you know, my family, my mom had to like her, and but most importantly, my son, because I spent a lot of time with my son. My son spends a lot of time with me. So, but you know, he's with me. I mean, that's a non-negotiable. So, she jumped right in and was great to him, and he liked her as well. So that was monumental for me. And then just looking at other things, just life goals, and we're both marriage minded. So I've never been the one to, you know, do something like this for a long period of time and not have the reward or the overall outcome at the end. So we had already talked about possibly having a future together. So with that being said, and we were kind of, you know, had similar interests, and then we both, like she said, we both have very similar interests in life and as well as in business. And overall, you've been married, Kheri, and at the end of the day, you know, relationships and partnerships and marriage is a merger of two companies at the end of the day. And people don't look at it that way. Sometimes people look at it with rose-colored glasses on, white picket fences, and station
Like
wagons, and 2.5 kids and lollipops and rainbows. That's not realistic. And that was some of the things I had to talk to her about, her having not been married before. And I'm like, because sometimes I would feel that she was looking through the lens of a Disney movie. And when I would say, you know, it's not like that all the time, and she was open to it, and she would listen, and she would like understand it. I was like, okay, boom, she's starting to get it. So that was a part of the process, and when I was like, okay, maybe we're ready to take this next step.
That is so important to have those type of discussions. I think that's very humble of you, Rashid, to let her know like this is the realness, and Symone, that you were open to listening to that as well, because it you know, living together and going to the place of marriage, like there's a lot of conflicts with it, you know, and it isn't perfect. But you know, if you have that partner and you have an understanding of each other and you love each other, it can be very beautiful. But I do think you need to have that discussion and understanding before you take that step. When I was younger, like I got married at a very young age. I was like 21 when I got married. So yeah, we didn't even have that discussion. It was literally strictly feeling. I love him. He loves me. We moved into an apartment with a TV on a box. It was a raggedy apartment with one couch. And I was just like, as long as I'm with you every day, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Not thinking about the future, the finances. We talk about family talk. Do we want kids? None of that. So it's funny how when you're younger, you know, you do have on those rose-colored glasses, or if you haven't gone through that process, you don't understand there's so much more to taking that step that you have to consider, which is family. And Rashid, you are a father, you have a son. I know Symone, she, you know, she's taken that role on very well. So I, you know, just kudos to you guys for having that discussion. I want the audience to hear this and learn this, like have those uncomfortable conversations. You know, you don't want to just go bulldozing through the relationship and doing whatever without having a discussion and really being clear with each other on what it looks like and what you expect from each other, you know?
For sure.
So, yeah, I think a lot of times people sometimes don't want to have the conversations because you're scared that, oh, it might cause a breakup of our relationship. But if you think about how difficult like relationship breakups are for you, okay, then multiply that by 10, because that's what a divorce is like. So
right. You'd rather go through a breakup than a divorce.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes. Seriously. I totally agree with that. Hence why I broke off my engagement. I'm not going through another divorce. I'm not doing it. Okay, so the audience has some questions. How do you all handle mood swings? Symone, let me know what you do when Rashid gets moody.
Oh my gosh. One of my favorite lines is I get, first of all, I get stern with my face. Like, I'm very serious. Now I can't do it now, but I'll say, I am not your enemy. And I say things like that.
Rashid, does she really say that?
I do.
No.
Yes, I
do. Not with consistency. The thing I hear always is like, fix your face.
Oh, fix your face.
I hear that one all the time.
Watch your tone.
Watch your tone. Fix your face.
He's really high strung. So sometimes he's not yelling. He'll just be like, well, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, watch your tone. You're yelling. Like, I'm not yelling. This is just this makes no sense. So yes, he can be, and then sometimes like you have to know when it's not you. Like something has happened during the day. Maybe a deal didn't go through, or I don't know. Maybe he had a flat. Maybe something happened with his very stupid Tesla. So electric cars. But I think the main thing is he doesn't have mood swings too often, but I've become better at like predicting them, and I can kind of gauge, is he really upset like with me, or is it like outside factors that have just ruined his day?
Okay. What about you? Does she have a lot of them?
I'm asking that. But another thing she does, I will say this though. She'll go on the third floor or something to the movie room and smoke hookah and just chill and let me have my space.
Oh, that's good.
Which is cool.
I like him to think I'm gone. So sometimes like I like him to think, I'm not even home. One time he made me so mad. I Ubered home. So you didn't even, I almost got shot. You didn't know I was home.
Almost got shot. Oh, by Rashid.
So finally, I went to the third floor. Like I touched nothing, right? So there was no idea that I was home. And I quietly watched the movie and I smoked my hookah and stuff up here. But then I had to pee. So I had to go back downstairs, and he heard, I guess he heard their footsteps. And he like bust into the bathroom, and I'm on the toilet. And I'm like, I was like, you scared me. He was like, you scared me. He was like, I didn't know you were here.
Right.
But I wanted him to miss me. So basically I try to go away so he can miss me and see what life was like without me.
Oh my goodness. So how did your casting?
Symone, when she gets moody, she needs a hug in the back rub. You don't leave her alone when she gets moody.
Nope.
We're the opposite. She needs more attention and more affection when she gets moody.
Okay. So when you get moody, you need like reassurance.
Yeah, she turns into a little girl. So you have to be there emotionally and physically, like nurture her for that. So
that's good that you know that, and that you're not trying to do the opposite to piss her off more. Because some men will be like, well, because I know this, I'm just going to leave her alone just to piss her off even more. It's good that you're.
Or they'll be like, you're a grown woman. Stop acting like that.
Right. Yeah. It's like, I want you to hold me. Let me know that you care.
I sent him that text yesterday. I said, can you come up here and hold me? He was like, okay.
That is so cute. I love it. They said, Symone, are you a jealous type? The jealous type?
No, not at all.
She's sure
I'll play jealous sometimes, but no, like even then it's just like if there's like a strange looking woman in the grocery store, I'll be like, oh, you got a little girlfriend over there. But no, because I've always liked attractive men, and I have this theory that like if no one else wants your man, you probably shouldn't either. Like they probably know something's wrong with them, like big time. So, and I firmly believe it is that man's responsibility to let other women know he's in a relationship. That is not your responsibility, right? So if girls are flirting or this or that, then I rely on him, and he was married for 10 years and was a faithful husband. So he's the last person that I would be worried about. Not that, I would never say that any man is not capable of cheating, but I'm just saying he has a really good track record that came before him, so I rely on that.
That's wonderful. Good. And I know you're not the jealous type. I mean, you are definitely a catch. So hello.
But I think that's a good question just because of the kind of personality I have. I could see why someone would be like, It's kind of wild.
They're asking, are you guys going to have children together?
Well, I don't just want children. I want a family. So for me, I want to be married first, which is why I don't have any yet. But we definitely have talked about it. I think for both of us, our preference, if we could pick, would be a healthy little girl. But you know, whatever God brings us is what we'll deal with. If I were to have a boy, I would keep trying.
You'll keep you gonna have 3 boys and then look Rashid.
I don't know about all that.
No, we would have one and then we would do what's that? The in vitro thingy.
In vitro.
That's where you could pick the gender. Because by that point, my eggs will probably be in somebody's refrigerator anyway.
Listen, I'm considering doing that myself because I don't have a Rashid right now in my life, child.
Oh, girl, we can do it together. Come on.
Yes, we will go freeze together. So do y'all have any like advice to give the audience as far as relationships? Well, not even relationships, but taking that leap and when to take that leap on being in a relationship or just that deciding factor.
I would say for anybody watching this show is probably over 30. So I would say, what you waiting on, girl? What you waiting on? If you have a foundational friendship, I'd say go ahead and give it a try. The cool thing about boyfriend and girlfriend is you can always break up. You can always break up. But I also think fundamentally, think about what value you bring to the table. Don't think about like for yourself, like I think I bring this to the table, but then hush and ask him, what is the value that you're looking for in a mate? Because it might not be the same. And then if what he's looking for, like I know with him, he needs someone who's going to be a nurturer. He needs someone who's going to take care of him. He needs someone who's going to, you know, run errands as well as like, he needs a wife. He needs a ladylike woman. He needs a wife. He also needs a business partner, just someone, if he has an idea, he could just run things by, right? So if there was, and those are things that come naturally to me. So that makes sense. But that's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't necessarily want, you know, that particular gender role. So that's what I was saying.
Any thoughts on that, Rashid?
No, sir. What was the question? I mean, I know the genesis of it.
To her.
Advice of.
Yeah, any advice to the audience as far as, you know, when to take that leap into the relationship phase? Like you're dating your friends, like when you should take that leap.
One, a lot of times people in general, we wait till the perfect storm. Till we think, okay, I've got all this lined up. Now I'm ready for this. That's the wrong way to look at it because nothing's ever going to be perfect. You're never going to be ready. You're going to find excuses. So be okay. Be willing to put yourself out there. And then at the same time, be okay. Don't operate from a place of hurt from your past because you're going into it with one eye open and one closed. Well, you can't see the forest for the trees that way. So what I mean by that is you have to go out there wholeheartedly and be vulnerable and be okay and let the chips fall where they may. They might not work out in your favor. And that's the same mindset I went on the show with. And that's kind of how me and her approached our relationship. Let's be 100% brutally honest, have tough conversations, and be okay with it not working out and be extremely grateful and gratified if it does. So that's all I would say. Because like she said, most of these people, most of us are of a certain age. You know, I'd like to say most of us have our career goals and paths and stuff we're going. And a lot of times we're just scared. Like sometimes we do have that little boy or little girl inside of us and don't want to get hurt. But shit, I don't think you can operate through life without hurt and pain. And hopefully we all come out on the other side of it. So
yeah.
Very true. It's true. I've noticed as I've gotten older that a lot of people are a lot more nervous and scared to take that leap because they don't want to get hurt. I call it relationship PTSD, where it's like you have that fear and I get like that. Like I can be a sabotager at times when I get too close to someone. and I'll start finding things wrong and, oh, well, you know, they didn't do that. Oh, see, there it goes. I don't need to be with them. So I had to like honestly go to therapy and do my healing so I can be able to get to that point of being open to love again. Because we hold on to it. And if that's the last feeling that you have is like hurt from someone you love, you have to also be able to move forward and know that's that person. Like I had to say, that was my ex. This is someone fresh and new. Wipe the slate clean. Let me just try this out, you know?
Yeah.
That is a great advice to give. And I need to hear that anyway, because I'm still struggling. I don't know what to do. I'm dating and I'm like, I can't get to that place where I'm honing into one person like that. I'm just like, this is who I want to be with. I'll get close to it, but then I think I still have a little bit of that the expectation of something else.
I think you said the right thing though. To help you get past that or to deal with it is counseling. So that's one thing I did mention, but I definitely was in counseling after my divorce. So yeah, if you're still there, you still just keep working through it. That's all.
I keep being like, maybe, babe, should we go to couples counseling? But then like I keep procrastinating because we don't have anything to.
Well, I think couples counseling is good. You don't have to have issues to go. Like it gives you tools. It's just investing in your relationship. So it gives you, because it looks like you guys are more than likely going to take that step to marriage. And with Symone, with you being
I think that's the kind that I want. Yeah. I want that kind, the kind that just that would be just like a guideline that would just help us to continue asking the hard questions, whatever they are. So we can keep going through those, working through those, pivot. But I think our biggest thing is just continue to communicate with our expectations of each other. Because sometimes I think his expectations of me are one thing, and I'm like, oh gosh, I cannot meet his expectations. And then I talked to him about it. He was like, what? I wasn't expecting you to do this.
Just last night. She thought she was thinking something, and she asked me, I was like, what?
Yeah.
No way would I ever expect that. And she's like, what, really?
Yeah. And I was putting pressure on myself. I was like, I don't know how to accomplish this. This is going to be so much work. And he's like, oh, crazy. That's
good that y'all have that open communication to talk about that. It's good that you felt comfortable that you could talk to Rashid about that type of stuff, you know?
Yeah, and I sat him down and I was like, I need to talk to you about something. Basically, I have concerns about your such and such expectation that doesn't exist.
Right.
He's like, I don't know where you got that from.
Yeah, too much TV. He was like, "What? You watching too much TV? Is it like what? Did you talk to your girlfriend?"
TV and social media just be putting so many things in folks' heads. It's just a lot.
Yes,
Well, I do think I do believe based on your relationship and other relationships that I've seen that has succeeded, even though you guys did meet on Ready to Love and you were initially attracted to each other in the first place. I do think that building a friendship and having that foundation first and then going into a relationship absolutely works. I think the timing, like we discussed, of you guys getting together, I think if you guys probably would have hooked up on Ready to Love towards the end, the pressure of the show and you kind of lose focus on each other when you link up right after the show, because everybody's like, oh, how's everything going? You got all these interviews. I feel like couples lose focus on the point of it, you know?
Yeah. But so you know what's funny? And I forgot, I don't know if we've said this before in an interview, but maybe one long time before. You don't even know what I'm saying. You just like, no.
I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
No, I was like, what happened was, now that I remember, we had went out on maybe our first date prior to the reunion. Because me and you, I was so surprised that they missed an opportunity there. You know, at the reunion, they asked you. Okay.
Yeah, we made out after Taco Tuesday.
Right. So, but they didn't ask because, you know, most times, hey, what's up with you? Since you and such didn't work out, what's up with you and Symone? Because we did have a great date and have a great interaction with everybody saw. But they never asked us that. If they would have asked us that, we would have told them, oh, we're actually dating, trying to date each other now.
No, they didn't.
They never asked.
Yeah, they didn't ask because I was coming back with Chris. It was supposed to be me and Chris coming back.
Oh, that's right. So maybe they had in their mind that they were
Oh,
bring her back.
okay.
Yeah.
But they missed the opportunity there. But anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
that's
the host dropped the ball on that one. I would have been all up in everybody's business.
That's why it would have. Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense to bring me back and doing that. But I was gonna say, but I thought what I thought you were gonna say was how like when we first started dating, you were saying, you were like, see, they're not gonna force me into a relationship. I'm not gonna let the public pressure me
Oh
into a
yeah,
relationship.
no, heck no.
Like, I'm moving at my pace.
Right. Yeah, like Kheri said, like you get all this pressure, like nah,
Yeah,
production and all the people watching the show does not come home with me. Like
right. Exactly. I agree. Because even like I didn't, y'all know my time was short lived on the show, but because me and Tyrone had that one moment, all of social media was like, Kheri and Tyrone, Kheri, you and Tyrone dating? Will you and Tyrone date? Are y'all dating? Me and Tyrone have never dated. Nothing has ever happened between Tyrone and I. Literally just friends. But they were just really trying to put the pressure on he and I just because of us having that moment on TV. And I just did a shout out for him, like, hey, you guys, me and Tyrone are still cool. Like, you know, after that, they were just like, oh, they make a good couple. So you do, it does put a lot of pressure on you out once the show is done. And I feel for some of the couples that do make it to the end because it's like a lot of them don't make it after the show because of everything that happens and you lose focus on each other. And then you kind of have that stardom for a while. So that 15 minutes where all the women are sliding the DMs and all the men are sliding the ladies' DMs and all that temptation, it's hard to, you know, to keep that up. So
you're getting flued out.
Yeah. That too.
Don't be jealous.
Did you get flued out somewhere, Symone?
I sure did a few times.
Where'd you go? Was it out of the country?
Mexico. Oh yeah, I left the country, girl. Mexico, Dubai,
I can't.
Miami.
Nice. Very nice.
Living my best life.
Well, y'all had y'all's moments and now y'all are together.
For you, yeah, I had to get all of that out of my system. That way when you were ready, I was gonna be ready and I could be the good, nurturing girlfriend that you see today.
There you go.
Preparing for you.
Well, I love you guys. You know, y'all are one of my faves. I am so excited to see your journey. Once y'all, you know, y'all start planning the wedding, let me know so I can. I want to be there and see the unity. I know it's going to be beautiful. I'm already speaking into existence. Yes, I am. So, but thank you guys for being a guest on the show. We are actually 3 minutes past the hour. In any other last minute, tell us about Ages and Stages. Do the shout out all your credentials and you know, everything.
Awesome. So Ages and Stages, every Monday we put out a reaction video. Ages and Stages is actually the YouTube channel. And you can also follow us on Instagram from there. And we put on reaction videos every Monday, but we've got some really exciting interviews coming up. Do you want to announce any? Okay. We'll keep quiet, but we also had content. We just started a membership, so we've got some exclusive videos. They're going to follow our life in the house.
That's exciting.
Yeah, me trying to learn to teach myself to cook off YouTube videos and stuff. I gave myself a little bit of food poisoning, and just our lives. Then I also have my separate YouTube that I talk about legal and celebrity gossip. Please subscribe there. It's called Girl, Is That Legal? On YouTube. And
because Symone is a lawyer.
I'm an attorney, yeah.
And I have a separate YouTube as well called Car Gods, CARGAWDS, and it just kind of shows the behind the scenes of me selling cars to some of my clients and kind of shows you kind of the steps in the process of that. So y'all check that out as well. It's called Car Gods. And other than that, I need to get back to the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, and Kheri, my new car comes. On Monday. I can't wait.
What did you end up getting? The Range? What do we get? What do we get?
Maserati.
Oh, you got the Maserati?
Black with red leather interior.
Send me a picture when you get it. Send me the picture on the outside, the inside. I'm very excited. Rashid sells luxury vehicles, y'all. So hit him up if y'all want some top notch. He don't sell no BS. Like you want to feel like you want to feel like you doing something on the road. You want heads to turn while you're driving. Hit up Rashid. Seriously, I'm excited for you. Okay, well, awesome, guys. Well, listen, make sure y'all tune into their shows. Thank you so much for being on here. We really appreciate y'all. And till next time, next Tuesday, guys, we're gonna start Good Love Tuesdays on Tuesday again. So we'll be on next Tuesday. All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Bye-bye.